All right, GJ here at Bobcat Stadium. Was it day 4 of Texas State practice? Not pads on today, but you worked the pads earlier this week. How you feeling about the Bobcats?
I think we had a good day today. Like you said, we had the shells on, and I thought the energy was kind of up and down at times. I think some guys were, felt the heat. They're feeling sorry for themselves. Day 4 of fall camp, the newness maybe wore off a little bit. But once again, as coaches, we got to get that going. The leaders got to get that going. So I thought today was a good day, but we just got to continue to stack good days.
Speaking of those leaders, we saw Caleb Ford DeMent leading the warm-ups earlier on. They saw him with the number 2. He got that single digit despite being a new guy. What has his impact been on this team early on?
Yeah, he's just one of these guys that he's got a chip on his shoulder. He was an all-conference player, transferred somewhere, got hurt, kind of dinged up. People kind of wrote him off, and now he's coming here to prove something. And by the moment he got here, he's been a vocal leader. He's been a leader by example. I love Caleb. I think he's got a really, really bright future. He's extremely fast, attention to detail. It's going to be hard to find a better corner than him in our conference.
It seems like these defensive backs specifically have a lot of energy to them, a lot of juice out there, getting guys going. Josh Eaton, Caleb Ford DeMent. And in a defense like this 4-2-5, is how important are the DBs and that kind of that energy and that impact that they have on the coverage?
Yeah. We'll go as those front 4 go and the back end go. Like I said, we're going to play a lot of man. We're going to get after them. So we put a lot on those DBs, and they've handled it very well. I think Coach Greg and Coach Dex have done a great job with those guys in the back end, and I'm very happy with those guys are at. We got to start developing some depth, figure out who those next guys are, and there's some. That's my favorite thing about this camp is there's a lot of competition, a lot of position battles going on, and those guys are handling it well, and so I'm looking forward to see kind of who continues to rise.
Yeah, that competitive, or every position is kind of up for grabs.
Yeah.
That competitive nature. Do you feel that's indicative of a good sign that these guys are kind of getting after each other a little bit? You see them getting a little feisty out there. Is that what you want to see?
Yeah. You want to see the competition. I think a little bit sometimes it can lead to some inconsistencies because we haven't had the same 5, consecutive drives. We're especially up front, offensive line. We got 5 here. Then the next drive, we got a new 5. Next drive, new 5. And they're in different positions. We're trying to really evaluate. That's what we're doing these first couple of weeks. Is I want a real evaluation. Let's get our base plays and let's see who can play. Let's see who's going to be out there and who can handle it. Right? Who can handle the amount that we're putting on them when it's hot. Right? Who's going to quit? Who's going to push through? And that's kind of what we're looking for right now. The execution, obviously, you want to have high execution, but right now I think it's all about establishing who we're going to be, kind of our identity, and that's why I challenge these guys out here today.
You posted on Twitter the other day about a Charger scout that was at practice. We just saw another one for the New York Giants. How good is that for the morale of this team to look around and see that they're getting scouted by the next level?
Yeah, as a player, when those NFL scouts are out there, I always tend to kind of up my game a little bit because I knew, like, hey, that one scout can change your whole life. You make a good play, you impress that guy, and he takes it back to his GM. You never know what can happen. So, I love when these guys come out here. We give them all access. They can do whatever they want. I talk to them every time they come out here. I try to talk with them and tell them, and I tell them the truth too. And I think that's very important.
Well, I can't leave without asking you about quarterbacks. So, day 4, quarterbacks out there. We got to see a little bit of Malik, a little bit of TJ, a little bit of CJ. How are they looking out there?
Very similar to the O-line. When you're rotating that many quarterbacks, you're going to have some inconsistencies. You're going to have some guys look really good, and then the next play not look as good. So I think continuing to stack those days, they're all doing some good things, and they're all doing some bad things. I'll say this, very happy with where that group is at. You're starting to see a little bit of separation, to be honest with you, starting to see a little bit of separation. But I think that's a good thing.
When you say separation, what do you mean? You want to expand on that?
No, yeah, not yet. But yeah, the guys are doing a good job.
I was trying to get you there. You're too good for me. What about Lindsey Scott out there? I saw him throwing some drills. He was out there with them playing full receiver. How cool is it to have a guy who has such great experience, Walter Payton Award winner, out there, out there warming up these guys and getting them ready under center?
Yeah, he's doing a great job. Just really asking what, he can't coach out there, but he can run around and try to bring some energy and bring some knowledge to those guys. When they come to the sideline, kind of talk to them. So he's been a great addition, and I find myself talking to him all the time. We'll sit back there and kind of identify the play as it's going on back behind, and we're kind of talking about the play, and then he goes and talks to the quarterbacks afterwards. So he does a really good job, and just very fortunate that he's here.
What's next week going to look like in practice?
Very similar to this. It's going to be hot, a lot of energy, a lot of pads popping, trying to get ready for that Baylor game.
No new installs, anything you've been holding back or anything this week?
Yeah, we'll continue to install for the next week, and then really about 2 weeks before that game time, we'll start really honing in on Baylor. Right now, we're just kind of running our plays. We don't care what the defense runs. We're just kind of getting out there and really running our plays. Same thing on defense. We're not, game planning versus 12 personnel, 11 personnel. We're just kind of calling our plays and seeing who can play.
Awesome, GJ. Thanks for taking the time.
For sure.